Hey, guys, welcome back and happy Wednesday. As you guys know, today is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 3. Hopefully, we're a little bit more excited about this one. I know I said that in my last video, but really, I'm hopeful because the first two, they were kind of disappointing. Guys, I want to thank you for another amazing night of hot, messy topics. You all showed up and showed out and brought your unfiltered opinions, which I love and appreciate like you have no idea. And thank you guys for all of the support for Jason's channel and Anchor Watch last night. That was an amazing show. Even though it was at 11 p.m., I think I got 4 hours of sleep last night. I feel like absolute garbage, but that's okay. We also have another late night tonight with Dana, so we're just going to keep trucking along. We're back to talk about Vanderpump Rules because today we're going live at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Jason's channel, Down with Jason, to talk about the Vanderpump Rules recap. You can check that out on my community tab where you can come join us for a subscribers-only live chat. But I'm going to give you just a little bit of a preview as to what we're talking about. If you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And of course, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so last night we watched Vanderpump Rules, and it was interesting because I feel like it's getting a little bit more heated. You know, season 9 hasn't had the best ratings, but there is some stuff that's starting to pick up a little bit. And one of the things that got me the most was Lala exposing a storyline of another cast member who I guess endured a domestic violence charge. We're going to get into all of that, but before we do, let's give you a little bit of the fluff. Tom and Katie are trying to have a baby, so he's getting his sperm tested, and apparently some of them, 4% of them, only 4% of them are regular, and the rest have 2 heads. I've never heard of this before, but I don't think I've ever been to a sperm doctor, so I think that's fair. But Katie also shared last night something that was very personal. And she said, you know, when she first met Tom, they had no money. She got pregnant. She wasn't intending on getting pregnant. They were doing everything that they can or could to protect themselves. So once she got pregnant, she decided to get an abortion. Now, she made her stance very clear on the show. And she said, I feel like all women deserve the right to choose. And I have to give it to her because knowing that she put that out there, such personal information, we know that fans are, 1, going to appreciate it, and then 2, also rip into her, because unfortunately, when you're on a public platform, that's exactly what everyone does. Everyone wants to have an opinion, whether they agree with you or they don't, and we know that that's a huge topic as it is. So for Katie opening up about that, they must be paying her damn good. But at the end of the day, I think that's something that we appreciate about some of our reality TV stars, you know, giving us these vulnerable moments. There's somebody out there who also went through the same thing, who probably had to get an abortion or chose to get an abortion. And then maybe now they might be, you know, having difficulties getting pregnant. So the storyline does help. Just like when we talk about Luann's sobriety on Real Housewives of New York, or mental health, or Bronwyn coming out as a lesbian, you know, all of these different topics, they might not cater to everyone, but they might be good for some people. Some people might be able to sympathize, empathize, and relate to these situations and these different topics. So I think it is important to talk about. But let's pan over really quick to Tom Sandoval. Love Tom. But last night watching him on the show, I was like, Tom, he obviously does not want Katie to be a part of their new bar, but Tom Schwartz is also half of that bar. So I don't really understand why Tom Sandoval, even though he doesn't have the best relationship with Katie, he's telling Tom Schwartz, well, I don't like who you are when Katie's around. I feel like you're, you know, very submissive and you don't really have an opinion. And I think it's not really fair because, like Sheena said, this is his partner. This is his partner in life. And she's going to be a part of everything that he does in some capacity. So I can't really be side or team Tom on this one. I have to be team Katie because I didn't really agree. And I have to be honest, you know, if Jason wanted to be a part of something that I had a business partner, we were opening a restaurant and Jason wanted to be a part in some capacity. And my business partner was telling me how much he does not like Jason or she does not like Jason. Well, guess what? This is my partner in life. So I'm probably going to choose my partner in life side because we haven't even opened the bar yet. And some might say, well, this could be a storyline easily, and it could be, but we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. As for Ariana Madix, I want to celebrate her for a second. She's launching a subscription box of cocktails, and she has some of the cast come over, Sheena and Brock, Tom Shorts. Obviously, she's doing it at her and Tom's house. And when she gives them all instructions on how to make these little cocktails, the cocktails with the ingredients that would come in the box. When she does, she has them all tested out, and they killed it, except for Brock. But Brock admits, I can't make a drink. I think that this is such an amazing business venture, sorry. Still, again, not feeling good, but business venture for Ariana. And I really hope she kills it, especially after her book did so well, Fancy AF Cocktails. For Ariana, I'm an Ariana stan. I really love her on the show. I love her in person. I think she's such a sweetheart. So I am nothing but celebrating her today. Now, I want to pan over to a little bit more of a tougher conversation. Randall and Lala met up with Sheena and Brock when they were in Palm Springs, and they introduced the babies. Well, this is where Brock revealed that he hasn't seen his other two kids in 4 years, and it left Lala with a lot of questions. Now, she eventually ends up calling him out when they're sitting down and celebrating, James Kennedy's engagement to Raquel. And when they are, Brock gets wind from Sheena that Lala has a lot of questions and that she's afraid that Brock might pick up and leave little baby Summer Moon and also Sheena too. Well, he says, I don't want to talk about this right now, but also I would prefer if you don't talk about my family on camera. Can I please just divulge the rest of this information to you later? She says, yeah, that's fine. Okay, whatever. She keeps her mouth shut about it. And he says, this is showing on your character. And she checks him and she goes, wait a minute, don't talk about my character when you haven't seen your two kids in 4 years. Well, apparently later in that night when the cameras weren't around, Brock actually reveals the real reason why he hasn't been around his babies or his former baby mama. And it was because he got charged with domestic violence. Now, this is obviously not something that he wanted to play out on the show, and neither did Sheena, because we can see when Lisa Vanderpump invites Sheena and Lala and the rest of the girls over to her house, Villa Rosa, it was the most uncomfortable situation ever. They're all sitting around the table, and Lala finally just comes out with it and says, okay, Sheena, well, I asked Brock why he hasn't seen his children. Do you know why? Katie looks uncomfortable. Lisa's like, what the hell are you talking about? Even though she's an executive producer on the show. So we are probably sure we know exactly, or she knows exactly what they're talking about. Ariana Madix is like, are we really doing this? And she says, did you know that your man caught a domestic violence charge? Are you okay with that? And Sheena is so caught off guard. She ends up texting Brock and she's like, why would you tell Lala that? And he's like, I thought because it wasn't on camera that it was okay. He's over at Tom's house celebrating a guy's night before it got ruined. And then he starts freaking out. He's absolutely pissed. He's in tears. This is obviously a hard place for him to be in. He doesn't want to talk about the family situation because it seems like he's trying to make it right. He came to America to give his family a better life and opportunities that he couldn't provide, back home. So I think that he feels really pissed and misunderstood because Lala's running with this storyline that she knows absolutely nothing about. Now, he did say he has no respect for her. He said this is coming from a woman who gives fellatio, let's just say that, gives fellatio for a Range Rover. He was going in like a mother. But my only problem here with this is I get where Ariana said on Watch What Happens Live last night, and James said, he should have never told Lala in the first place. I understand that stance on it. But if he told her thinking, because he's new to the show, he doesn't know how this works. And if, Sheena would have known, she would have obviously stopped him from sharing this information. But if he told her off to the side and confided in her, she should have thrown him a bone, something. She should have known he didn't want this on camera. This is going to affect his family. I feel like this was a dirty move. This was a dirty move in an attempt to save season 9, to have some sort of storyline. And while I know LVP is probably living for it because it will do well for the ratings, I don't think this was fair to Brock. But that leaves me with one question for you guys. Do you think that Lala was in the right? Because, well, guess what? You signed a contract, you joined the show, and welcome to Vanderpump Rules. Or do you think that it was shady as hell because Brock confided in her when they both agreed to talk about it off camera? Now, I see fans are very split on this, but I want to know what you guys have to say. So if you haven't already, go ahead, comment below. And before you go, don't forget we're going live today with Jason on his channel at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 20-30 minutes, we'll be going live for a subscribers only live chat where we welcome all of you to chime in and give your unfiltered opinions. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.